to the next episode of this season. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey, y'all, I'm Deswexx.
Okay, so what is it that you do?
Um, well, I'm in school for aesthetics right now to be an esthetician, but I also make music and model. I sing, songwrite, poetry, the whole nine.
Okay, hell yeah. So what got you into poetry and all that type of stuff?
Always been into it. I just didn't really start displaying it until like last year. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's always been in me.
I got you. So on this podcast, we talk about a lot about relationships, conspiracy theories, a lot about this generation, this crazy generation, and
Right.
all that type of stuff. So what do you think of this generation? We'll go ahead and get started with that, with the whole generational.
That is a loaded question. I don't know. Where do I start? Where do we want
All right,
to?
so we could talk about like we'll talk about like individuals around our age, right? Between like the ages of what, 21 to 25, I guess you could say. What about individuals that are around those ages? What do you think?
There's just it's just like it's like so many ways you can go with this. Like on one end of it, I feel like our generation is a lot more conscious of things that the older generations just are not. Just as far as like working a dead end job for the rest of your life. Like our generation is not doing that. We're just refusing to do that. We're either starting our own business or we're just speaking up in the workplace more. We're not being, pushed over because there's a
Yeah,
lot of that. But on the other end, it's like we've lost a lot of values in relationships and just I feel like human connection, just human decency.
yeah.
So there's pros and cons, but overall, I can't say it's good or bad. Like we're just different. We just evolved into something different compared
I feel
to
like
maybe
So I
before.
feel like just like every other generation, I feel like we have our pros and then we have our cons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like what you said, the pros are like, okay, people want to do their own thing, become their own boss, make their own money type deal,
Yeah.
which is cool, which is good,
Hmm.
definitely a good thing. But what I see the cons at is the relationships, like the whole vibe with the relationships, how people go about them and stuff like that. I'm seeing
Yeah.
a lot of cons going on with this generation. I don't know if
Like
you see
what?
that too.
I'm not dating really, so but I've seen it, but um I can't say I've experienced it too much.
I got you. So what made you like in that mindset where you're like, I'm not gonna date? Like,
It's not even like a mindset. It's just like it's just not where I'm at right now because I'm in school and I'm just focused on other things. I do want a relationship,
yeah,
but it hasn't happened yet.
like it's hard to find type deal.
No, no, because like I have options, but I'm not. It's also for me. It's just I don't connect with people the way that I would like to because we just don't not on the same frequency. You know what I mean?
I got you. So out of curiosity, is it like the icks? Because I've been hearing a lot about like different females got like these different icks for dudes, and it's like if they have an ick, then it's like that's it. Like we can't fuck with you like that type deal.
Yeah, there's that. There is that. Um, what are you asking? Like, as far as why I haven't chosen to be with anyone?
Kind of
That
deal,
not.
yeah. Like why like no one's really like kind of, I don't know. I guess you
Oh,
could say like piqued your eye. I guess like caught your eye.
well, yeah,
Let's
I
bring
could
the
say.
relationship topic, huh?
Well, then in that case, yeah, there has been some icks, so to speak, but there's just a disconnect for me. I feel like because things that I'm interested in or that I feel are like important topics to discuss, other people literally haven't even thought of, which is crazy to me. Like just little things, and some
Okay.
big things, but it's like usually I'm the more interesting one in the conversation, and I think that's what the disconnect is.
Hmm. That's
I
interesting.
think
That's actually the first time I ever got an answer like that. So that's interesting. Um, so you said you're the most interesting one. So like, what brings that? Just like the dudes that you was messing with didn't have personality, or like what was the whole deal with that?
I just feel like a lot of people lacked depth. They
So
just lack depth.
personality,
Like they will have personality, but it will be very surface level. Like once you
like
start, when I say lack depth, I mean like what else? Like there's personality, and then there's like your subconscious personality, like who you are when no one's watching. You know what I mean? Like things that you think about, things that you
okay, I
wonder.
see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Mhm.
But isn't that like that subconscious mindset? Isn't that something everybody has though? Like
You would think.
you have the in public type of vibe, and then you'll have the at home. I'm more comfortable. Not I like all the eyes aren't on me right now type deal.
Exactly. And it's like I would think everyone has that, and I'm sure everyone does in some aspect. And I feel like as a human being, it's impossible to like that. But so many people do.
Hmm.
They don't think about things, I guess, like on a bigger, deeper spectrum. And so I'm usually the one asking like the deeper questions or like,
Yeah, I get
just
what you
like,
mean.
yeah.
I get what you mean. Like they have the personality, but they're not like interesting. If that makes sense. Like they're not
No,
bringing the
like I'm just
interest
not
to the table.
interested. I'm not interested, like when I'm not getting answers that are making me think. Usually I'm giving answers that make you think. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got.
I
Yeah, I
like
got you.
to feel like there's more to you than I'm actually seeing. But
I get you. So then, what kind of things are those? Like when you're talking to a dude, I'm assuming dude. Like, if you're talking to a dude, what are the things that like are gonna catch your interest? Like, is it gonna be his background? You know, all that type of stuff. Like, what? How deep you want him to go?
no, not even that. It's more like, I mean, yes, that is important, but I feel like a question I would ask to really get to know where someone's mindset is like, okay, what is your take on like religion and spirituality? What is your take on before life and afterlife? That's kind of like where I start.
Okay, so kind of like the religion type talk, a little bit.
A little bit of that, and then it's also like we can go so many ways, but like I like to start there because it's simple. It's not too like um invasive, I don't
I get
think.
what you mean. I get what you mean. Like you just want to see like what kind of wavelength they're on, type deal.
Yeah. And
I
through
get
that,
you.
I find that a lot of people just haven't even stepped out of or even thought to step out of, what they were just raised to believe,
Yeah,
which is like understandable. If you're raised a certain way, a lot of people don't question it, but I do. So it's like, I feel like if I'm questioning what you believe in,
yeah.
like I want to know, do you actually believe in it, or is that just how you were raised? Like, do you really resonate with that? Because people say like, "Oh, I was raised Christian," but then they don't actually like their
They don't
beliefs
like
and their
practice it.
principles.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just say it because that's what they grew up doing, and it's like that's
yeah,
fine. People, it's normal, but
yeah.
I
I get what you mean. Like for
it's
most
helping a lot.
for most of us Latinos, we were rose up with Christian and Catholicism, like Catholic,
Yeah.
type belief. But
Hmm.
me personally, I'm kind of like, well, like you said, I'm kind of just more so like, what really is out there? Like, what if
Yeah.
it's like all of them, or what if it's none of them, or like, what if it's
Exactly.
some other type of higher like extraterrestrial being, like shit like that,
Exactly.
like.
Like, but there's so much more to explore, but
Right, right.
it's
I'm
just
just
the
kind of
open
just
mindedness that a
That's
lot
what
of
I'm
people
saying.
lack.
Like that. That's what I'm saying. So that's why when people ask if I'm religious or spiritual or anything, I don't really have an answer just because I'm more so just curious about what exactly is there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, but I know like a lot of people that are spiritual and they have like different types of spirituality, I guess you could say. Like there's
Hmm.
some people that like to fuck around with the tarot cards or whatever, and then there's
Hmm.
some people that are more so like spiritual in the sense that they're religious but not like that religious, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
So that's what confuses me a little bit.
Yeah. I just like to I feel like that tells me a lot about a person's just like their being and like their mind and the way that they think for themselves.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I
So,
get what you mean.
back
So
to
you
the
don't seem
dating
to.
topic, it's like once I bring that up, it kind of tells me a little bit what I need to know or what I would, or whether or not we could connect.
Yeah, Yeah, I
So
get what you mean. I get what you mean. I mean, that's how it should be. But I was gonna say you don't seem like the type that like looks at like the if they're six over 6 foot or taller, like the zodiac sign bullshit or stuff like that. Like cool, like if people like want to throw in the zodiac sign belief, whatever. But me personally, I've been judged on it, so I'm like, I don't know much about it. But at the same time, it's like I feel like you shouldn't judge someone specifically on the zodiac sign, if that makes sense.
yeah, I am into astrology, and I will ask people their signs. I won't say I'll judge them based off because every sign is different. Even if you're the same sign, you're still different. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's like, but it does tell me things about you.
Where so just off of this vibe right now, you could tell me what mine is.
I was gonna wait a little longer before I guessed, but
I
just giving a little more time. I'm usually good at guessing it after I
don't know. I feel
read
like
it
I
to
give
you.
off a different like vibes of different ones. I don't know if you'll be able to guess it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No one's ever really been able to guess mine. When I tell them it, they're kind of like, oh,
Really?
type of dude.
See, that
Yeah.
already tells me that you're at least one of the three that's in my head.
Damn. Okay. So I gotta wait till the end for you to tell me what you think.
Yeah, at the end, I'll guess three times, and if not, then it's like okay. But if
Okay.
you,
Okay.
I'm usually right within like the chart. Like if it's not your sun sign, it's probably like your moon or your Venus or something, or your Mercury. Because
See,
like that.
even that I don't really understand either. Like I don't know my moon. I don't know any of that. Like I just know the one I
Yeah.
was born in or something like that because it goes out like one of them goes off the month you were born in and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I just know that one.
Yeah.
But
I'm simple.
yeah, I don't know. But getting into oh hold up, it'll show up. There we go. Conspiracy theory. How are you with conspiracy theories? Like, is this something that like is super interesting to you, or kind of just
Yes.
more so? You say yeah.
I am super open to all of them.
Where so? What's the most crazy one you've heard? I'm gonna start you off with that.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know about her, but I've come up with a lot of my own.
Okay.
Um, I guess one of the crazier ones. There's a lot. Like there's so many. One of mine is like I believe the ocean and space are one entity. Like if you were to go far enough into the ocean, you would end up in space.
Hmm. I mean, that's one that I've heard too. I see a lot on TikTok where it's like I don't know, but isn't that more so like what like the flat Earth type community kind of believes too?
No,
Because don't they
they
believe like
think.
it will drop you into space type deal because it's flat?
Um, I mean, maybe I guess. I don't really have a take on the fly around Earth thing. Like, if the Earth is just, I don't know what it is, but I don't care if it's flat or round. I live
Yeah,
here, you know?
I'm with that too, but I don't know. I've never met somebody that's like cold heartedly like, yeah, it's flat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I have.
you have?
My dad is like that.
Really?
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I'm kind of with it too. Like, I don't know exactly what. Like, I'd have to be in space to see the Earth to be able to be like, okay, it's that shape
Yeah, the way
type
that my
deal.
dad puts it, he's like, well, if they have satellites in space, why aren't they able to show us the people on the other side of the world from space walking upside down on the Earth if it's round? And I'm like, interesting theory. Honestly, I
That
can't
is.
validate it.
That is pretty interesting. I don't know. I've always
Yeah.
been more so like low key on the round just because like that's all we've ever learned was that every planet was round. But
Yeah,
you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Anything is a curiosity when it comes to like space type stuff. But I know for sure is we can't be the only species out here. You know what I'm saying?
for
Like there's
sure.
definitely extraterrestrial out there for sure. You know what I
And
mean?
a lot of them are on Earth already, I think.
I think that's kind of what also steered me away from like specific religions too, is just because like some of them are just believing like it's only earth, hell, and then heaven, and that's it. Like there's no
Mhm.
nothing else, no other species, and it's like how you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's just crazy to me to think. Cause like, no way.
But here's the thing
No
though,
way.
some people believe that they're already walking amongst us, like just walking, enjoying their everyday lives. Do you believe that?
There's what?
That extraterrestrial beings are just living amongst us already, like they're just walking
Yeah.
around, living their life. You believe that already?
Hmm.
What makes you believe that? Is
I
that a
mean,
curiosity?
I just don't. It's hard not to believe when you're given like things like the pyramids. And when I say extraterrestrials, I mean like more like reptilian, skinwalkers, things like that,
I
that
got you.
are literally shapeshifters and are able to look like human, but like obviously are not.
Yeah. Wait, so you think
I just,
skinwalkers are extraterrestrial?
I feel like anything that's not human is extraterrestrial. Besides, like, animals and plants, like any other entity that
I don't know. I was always taught like skinwalkers were like the Native American type urban legends and shit like that.
really, I never
Yeah.
heard of any like origin of them. Hmm.
Yeah, it's like a Native American like witch demon type thing. That's why it could like shapeshift and be all weird and shit like that. That's what I was
Oh,
taught.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I have heard that.
Yeah. So I mean, I believe like they've definitely like been in history for sure. Like you said, the pyramids, different structures and shit. Shit, even
Mm-hmm.
Atlantis, bro. Like a lot of people don't
Yeah.
talk about Atlantis for some reason, but I feel like that was a legit place that sunk. I'm one of those people.
Sure, sure. It's always just been easier for me to believe in the crazy stuff than to believe in the boring, mundane,
Hmm.
that this is just what it is. Like, I just rather believe that there's more. Just like,
Absolutely.
also, I am very spiritual. So when you bring up Atlantis, it's crazy because within Atlantis, when it sank, apparently there was like a divide because the Atlanteans were using their powers to like manipulate and like do some dark shit. And then
Hmm.
there was a place called Lemuria,
Yeah.
where it's like Atlantis Part Two, basically, but with like the more
Huh.
pure beings. And I had a dream a while ago about that place. I had never heard of it before, but in the dream, like I had the name in my head where it's like I knew where I was. And then
Yeah.
when I woke up, I Googled it and it was like a real place. Well, not a real place now, but like it was a real place like
Oh
after
shit.
Atlantis. And I was like mind blown.
So you had a dream about it before you even knew about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit is trippy as fuck.
And in the dream, all the things that I was seeing, and then when I did my research on the place, it all lined up. So like I now believe that like I have a past life there. Because my spirit animal is a siren, like a mermaid siren.
Yeah.
And in the dream I was a siren.
Word.
And
How did
those
you
type
find
of creatures.
how do you find out your spirit thing? Like that's pretty cool that you know that.
My spirit animal.
Yeah.
That's just something I resonate with. Everyone has like different animals that they feel like they relate more to, and mine's has always been like a siren.
Word. I've actually never like I don't know, I've never had that with the animal. Like I've always liked animals, but I've never had one that I like related to, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a fear, I have a fear of like spiders and shit. I don't know if you consider them an animal, but I don't fuck with those at all. But like everything else, like tigers, lions and shit, I think those are cool. I
Yeah.
just haven't related to one if that makes sense. I don't know if that's weird or not.
I mean, some people don't really think about stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I I like if you were to pick a creature, like a mythical creature to relate to, what do you think yours would be?
A mythical creature. I don't know, like the ocean is low key like freaky, but at the same time it's like something that's interesting too.
Mhm.
I feel like it'd be like the big ass serpent thing. What's it called? I
Oh,
forgot what
I know what
that's
you're talking about. I forgot the name of it. Hold on.
Leviathan or something like that.
Leviathan, yes.
Those are I always thought those are pretty dope, so I don't know. Maybe that would be like the coolest fucking thing. I don't know. That's
Yes,
kind of where I'm at. I don't know. I don't know if like there's an animal specific animal that I relate to. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes me like boring or whatever the fuck. It's just I like animals for sure, and
yes,
I think like if some of them were tameable back in the day, like shit could have went different. But
for sure.
one to relate to, yeah, I don't know. No clue.
Well, I'm definitely a siren.
Definitely a
For
siren. So like you believe that they like also swim around and shit and like try to make themselves known, or is it more so like extraterrestrial? They just kind of try to blend in with everything else.
sirens?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they try to make themselves known. I don't think they try to blend in either. I think they just exist in like certain parts of the world. There's like sirens and then there's mermaids. The sirens though, they're a little more dangerous and
Oh, hold on. So they're not the same like thing. Like sirens aren't like the mermaids that they're talking about.
no.
Wait, so what is the difference?
Sirens are more like I said, mermaids are half fish, half
Human, yeah, yeah.
so are sirens, but sirens have the gift of song and they can sing and like lure you in. And then I hear in like Haiti and like that origin, they're super prominent there. Like they grow up hearing about like the tales of
Huh.
sirens, like luring people and making them their slaves and stuff like that.
I've heard of stuff like that. Yeah. They're,
Mhm.
so they're like the evil type mermaid, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
Damn. So why is that one your spirit animal? I'm just trying to understand.
Because I do sing, right? So
Yeah.
that's a big one. And then I resonate with water. Like I love the water, but the siren is a little bit darker. And I feel like people have told me that I give them like dark feminine energy, which is just like not an evil type of thing, but it's just like a woman who's just like not afraid of her own darkness, basically.
Hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
And on top of that, I don't know if you ever heard the story, like uh, the Odyssey. I think that's what it's called.
I think so. I
But
want
it's
to say
basically a
so.
story of like sailors having to like sail through the ocean, and then the sirens start singing. They have to plug their ears because basically they'll lure you and they'll eat you.
Oh shit.
And I have a history of eating men alive.
You
Not
saying
actually, but like I
wait, hold on. You said you have a history. What do you mean by that?
in past relationships when I was younger, I would always like somehow sabotage and
Oh shit.
they would just be a different person after we were done. Like not proud of it, but it's just something that I've reflected on and I'm
Yeah.
like, I've really hurt a lot of men and they've become like an entirely different person after me.
Do you feel like they become like a worse person, or do they become like a better person? You know what
Worse
I'm saying?
before it's better. Worse
Mhm.
before it's better for sure. But
I feel like that's in general. I don't think that's just you. Like I've heard a lot of stories of like where like like females feel that way, where they're like, "Damn, I've heard a lot of dudes and like I've changed them and stuff like that." But it's like,
really, I haven't heard that much. Usually, see, when I say it, it's because I haven't been in a situation where a guy hurt me really bad. Like I've been heartbroken for sure, but it was
Mhm.
usually because of me. Like I broke my own heart because I did something that hurt somebody that I cared about. It was never
Yeah.
that I did anything crazy. I've never been like cheated on or hit on or anything like that. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's like it was always I was always the problem in my past relationship.
Mm. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, like the thing is like you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like every relationship, every past relationship, good or bad, is a learning experience type deal.
Absolutely, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Learned
Like
a
I've
lot.
had my fair share of bad relationships, and I probably wasn't the best either. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you learn, like, hey, maybe I was the problem, maybe I was the mistake. That's like the first step of responsibility that you took. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I did learn a lot, and I have no problem taking accountability, like, and saying that I was the villain because I know.
Yeah.
And usually, if I did do something wrong, I would even tell myself and like tell them. I never cheated or anything like that, but like it was just
Like you
always
feel as though like
something.
maybe the way you treated men or something like that, or
Yeah, I could just be selfish sometimes.
I get what you mean. I feel like we've all had relationships like that. So I'm here to tell you, you're not the only one. You're not the only one that's had bad relationships. We've all had them. Every single one of us, whether we want to admit it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure,
But it's what helped make the people we are today. That's the thing. You know what I'm
definitely.
saying?
But through all that, I was like, definitely sirens. I'm a siren. And plus, I just feel like I have people. It's, like I know I have them, but like it's confirming when other people tell me that like my eyes are like siren eyes. If that makes sense.
Mm-mm. I've
Doesn't
never
make
seen a
sense.
siren, so no, I don't know what you're talking about.
They're just like very alluring, I guess. Honestly,
Alluring.
I don't know. I wish I could see myself through someone else's eyes, but I've heard it my whole life, so
I get what you mean. I mean, like, so you feel like you've used like your looks for like advantage, is what you're saying.
I don't mean to. I can't help it. Like I can't turn it off. But
You also got to understand though too, like we also have dudes out there that are also like willing to just talk to whoever female they think looks good, and they're really to throw themselves. For some reason in this generation, that's a big thing where like they're just ready to throw themselves at any woman, no matter if
yeah,
they're gonna sabotage them or whatever the case may be. I don't
yeah,
understand it personally, but you know what I'm saying. I think people need to focus more on the personality. I think. Not so much on the
agree
on the exterior of a person, if that makes sense.
for sure. And I've probed that out of a lot of people because I'm like, "Oh, you want to be with me? Why? Because I'm pretty. What else?" And they don't have no answer. They have no answer.
Like, I mean, as a dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the looks is what gets the attention. Like, the looks
Yeah.
is always what gets the attention. Like, there's no denying that.
Hmm.
But it's the personality, for me at least, is what's gonna keep me drawn, if that makes sense. So you could look good and you can catch my attention, but if you have a shitty personality, it's like, why would I even stick around and talk? There's no point.
I mean, it's kind of the same for us. Well, for me, it's like, yeah, the looks will definitely draw me in, and the personality will keep me entertained, but that's not going to keep me around. I feel like your mind is what is most important to me. Like, I want to know how you think.
Right. So, like, scenario wise, if there was like I don't know, if there was a dude that was, how tall are you?
5'2", I think.
5'2". I mean, they exist. So if there was a dude that was like 5 foot 5'1", type around that area, but he had like the chillest personality that you can click with the most, you would see that through, or would you still be like, nah, because of his height?
No, I would. I don't care about stuff like that. I've dated guys that are like my height or like a tiny bit shorter or shorter.
Yeah,
I don't really care about that too much. It's nice
yeah,
when it's raw. It's like it's nice, but
yeah.
it's kind of superficial. I don't know.
That's
But I get
yeah,
it.
and that's
I
the
get
thing.
the appeal.
That's the thing I feel like about like people our age is like they're just so focused on trying to find that tall dude that's
Yeah,
gonna do something for himself. I guess you could say athlete. I guess you know what I'm saying. That's
I
like the
definitely
common
get the
one.
appeal. Don't get me wrong. I get the appeal, and if you're tall, it adds points, but it don't take away points if you're not. You know.
But the thing is what's funny is tall for most females that I've known, even if they're 5'2" or whatever, has always been 6 foot or taller. So like me, I'm 5'6", so they would still like look at me and be like, I'm still too close to that height. Nah, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, that's a little crazy, but
but that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens in this generation. Is like
yeah.
that's the hype around is the height. There's the zodiac signs and honestly the money too. Like if they know you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be balling with money, like you're there all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. It's hard out here, but I've just never been interested in like actually I was actually just thinking about this in the shower today. 'Cause I was like, I've never really looked or like I've never been drawn or like appealed. Like I've just never been what is the word I'm looking for? En-
Attracted to?
Enticed. Like I don't know. Like if you have a nice car, a lot of money, that just never I just never cared about stuff like that when I
Which
was
is
younger
good.
because it's also like my relationships was like when I was 16, 18, 22. Nobody has that much money. So it's like, why am I looking for somebody around my age that has all this money? It just doesn't exist.
I don't
Unless
know.
like in very rare cases, But it's like as I get older, it is becoming more important, but it's also not a defining factor. But it's not something that I'm willing to just look past like I used to. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's a good thing that you never looked at those like sentimental things as like, oh, like he has this and that, like That means I like him type deal. Cause that's again, that's the trend. That's the
It won't
tradition
impress
of.
me. It will honestly, it would probably give the opposite effect for some reason. I don't know why I'm like this, but like when somebody is like super flaunty with even if they have nice stuff, I am like it gives me the ick. I don't know.
It should. It should. Like that's. I feel like you shouldn't brag about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to
Yeah.
dress nice and all that stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. It's cool to dress nice, but if you're flaunting your car, like you said, or your belongings and stuff like that, like
Yeah. Like if you
I
got
never
it,
liked
we
that
see
either.
it. We see it. If you got it, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You
I don't know.
know what I mean? Like yeah, there's no reason to do that. So I get it. I've never liked dudes that did that either. To be honest with
Yeah.
you. I've never been the type to want to flaunt around either, because the way I grew up was like if you had it, someone's gonna want to take it. So
Mm,
that's
exactly.
not something you should be flaunting around anyway. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, but I don't know. Again, like when it comes to this generation and this tradition of dating in today's society, I feel like it's wild. That's
How
like
old
a
are you?
wild topic. I'm 22.
Oh, okay.
How old you think I was? Out of
I mean,
curiosity.
around that age.
For real?
A little older, but
A little older? Like
around my
how?
age.
Like how? Like 25?
22, 23, 22 to 24, 25. Yeah.
Okay, that's not old. That's not old. I was kind of I was kind of like not hoping you were gonna say an older age, because I ain't trying to age
What's
it.
old?
I don't know, like 30. Like I'm not trying to look 30 or anything like that, which I don't think I will, but
30
I'm
is
not trying
not
to get
old. I
there.
used to think 30 was old, but now that I'm getting closer, it's like, no, is it? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm like I have what fucking six, not even 8 more years till I have to worry about that. So I feel like 8 years is still a
Yeah,
lot of time. You know what I
it's a
mean?
good chunk.
Yeah. How old did you say you were?
24.
24. So you're in your senior year of college.
I'm not in college. I'm go to esthetician school, so it's not like a university.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. That's
Mhm.
the petition. That's what's up. You didn't want to do the college route or nothing like that?
I tried it, but it was cool. It was cool. I went to UDC, but then once the the check, the money that I had to pay back came in, I was like, oh,
Never mind.
not to have that.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
that's what kept me from college too, was the money for sure. Not all of us were growing from it, so it is what it is. Type
Yeah,
deal.
'cause,
Yeah,
like I love learning. Like I really do enjoy school. I enjoy just like learning new things. And my major was music in college, and so that obviously came easy to me.
yeah.
But
They asked for too much money. That's what it
too much,
is.
like it's too much. I'm not doing
It's
that.
like if you don't have like a scholarship or like a certain type of enrollment like this, it's just
Yeah,
gonna be too much.
and I
You know
did
what I'm saying?
bullshit a lot in high school, so I didn't get none of that. So
Shit, a lot of people that I went to school with ended up just going the community college route, honestly, since it was free.
yeah,
I
I was
mean,
gonna do the 2 and 2 year plan, like do 2 years community college, 2 years university, but like I
even
said,
then,
it's
yeah,
what it is.
it's getting too much. They need to lower that stuff. I don't think they ever will, but that's something that needs to be lowered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like college is like an experience that a lot of people our age get to experience, but should experience, if that makes sense. It looks like a
Mhm.
good experience, like with all the sports and like the traditions of the school and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I definitely would love to have had like a more of a college, especially like a HBCU experience.
Yeah.
But
They don't
I
have
go to
schools
the
like that
party.
for they don't have schools like that for Latinos, so we just go wherever, I guess.
I would love if they did that. Yeah, I would be like, see, I'm Puerto Rican, so I would have loved it to just be around like more Hispanic people.
It'd be dope if they had it, but I don't know. Like they wouldn't. I don't think they would make that anytime soon.
No, probably
Dude,
not.
there's too many of us that don't want to go to school. I guess I don't know. I don't know the whole case behind that, but it would be dope, because you're gonna put like us Mexicans with y'all Puerto Ricans with other Cubans, Colombians, like that'd be dope. Like it'd
Yeah,
be like
that would be really cool.
you know what I'm saying? Some schools have like, those frats and sororities that are, Latin based and stuff like that, which I think is cool. But I think a straight up college like an HBCU would be cool. for sure.
Yeah,
Get Hispanic kids into schools and stuff like that. See what they could do. Why not?
I think that would be amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't think that'd be something that they'd be interested in wanting to start though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that'd be something like one of us would have to start that deal, or like end up
exactly.
becoming a
Exactly.
goal. You know,
A nice chunk of us would have to advocate for that.
I'd be down for it if there was enough of us. Shit, I'd be down for it.
Me too.
Why not? You know
Honestly, the Hispanic community don't claim me, so but
what?
I'm still one of
Well,
them.
let me ask you this: do you like spicy food? Do you like
Mhm.
Hispanic food?
Yes. My
There's no
titi,
reason. Then there's no reason not to accept it.
it's just my Spanish is not up to par. So,
Hey,
and I
órale
guess
pues.
I don't look Puerto Rican.
No,
So
you could pass. Like I went to Puerto Rico not too long ago. There's a lot of different diversity there. Like there's,
there is, but
but
like
that's
no,
every
you wouldn't
Latin
expect
country
it.
too. Like we have that in Mexico. Like you have people that are browner than I am. You have people that are
Yeah,
lighter than I am. Like we just come in all kinds of variety. Like we're all
it's so
Hispanics.
exactly. But
So
I don't know. They wouldn't like when I meet other Hispanics. They are surprised when I tell them that I'm Puerto Rican.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's also comfortability. You got to think like if they're especially if they're just coming over to the states, they're still used to Spanish and they're comfortable with Spanish. So it's like if you can't speak it, then it's like fuck, I can't get comfortable with this person because they don't know my
Uh,
language.
yeah,
You know, there's all kinds of
a little
different.
bit, but not a lot.
Hey, just brush up on it. Just learn more. You know what I'm
You're
saying? Like there's a lot of
bilingual.
people, huh?
You're bilingual.
Yeah, I am. But the thing is I'm self-taught.
Oh,
So I mean I grew up learning like the slang and all that because I grew up in a Chicano type family. So I knew like the slang and I grew up with English and then I
mhm,
noticed that I wasn't able to like speak like paisa Spanish like if I was living over in those countries, so
mhm.
I decided to learn more Spanish and dab myself up, and now I'm here where I am where I can speak it and get where I need to go, you know.
That's what's up. That's cool.
So if I can do it, because I'm the definition of an osavo that just learned, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So if I could do it, you could do it for sure.
I could definitely do it.
You know
I
what I'm
can.
saying? Especially just watching shows in Spanish with the subtitles on. Those work too.
Honestly, I think if I just go to Puerto Rico for like a good amount of time, I'll come back with an accent and everything.
It'll help spending time too. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I came back
Mhm.
with a little bit of accent. Like my family was getting mad because they're like, we don't talk like that, you know. I
Oh
was
my
like, damn,
god.
my fault, you know. But we're gonna go ahead and make this one short because it was just me and you. But overall, it was a good episode, and I do appreciate you coming on. Usually, I do the questions, but some of the questions were for the guests. Some of them were for the guests that didn't come on yet. So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. I wanted to do them too. Like some of them were kind of interesting. But
Yeah.
and either way, shit, like you were a vibe, and I appreciate you coming on. And
Of course, I had a good time. Thank you.
yeah, would you recommend like more podcasts should be like this style where it's like more so virtual like this?
I mean, I can do either. They have different vibes for sure.
Yeah.
I would probably be able to guess your sign easier if I was in person.
So you still haven't quite got it yet?
I'm gonna narrow it down to three, but yeah, I'm not positive about it.
What are the three? Let's just hear the three, and I'll tell you if you're right.
Okay, my top one, I was gonna say I keep switching them, but do you know the elements? Like if I say water or earth, do you know what I'm saying?
Somewhat. Somewhat.
So I think you're a water sign. I'm
Okay.
thinking either water or earth, maybe a little air. So like either uh Pisces,
You're close.
Scorpio,
You're pretty damn close.
as far as what?
The month. Because Pisces, what, February, March, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, you're close. I'm an Aquarius. I'm like the end of the Aquarius. I'm January
Okay,
20th, so.
you didn't let me get there because I was gonna say that last.
Oh,
But
were
you
you?
threw me off when
My
you said
fault.
I was close. I was like, wait, where? But no, I was gonna say Pisces, Scorpio, or Aquarius.
People want to say Scorpio for me so bad. Like, why? I don't get Scorpio.
You
I
know?
don't. I don't know. I don't know. I have to look into it more. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see. I don't know.
Fun.
Uh,
Aquarius, okay.
I just know Scorpio is one of the toxic ones. I don't want to be one of the toxic ones. I don't want to get shooed away at first glance.
I think Scorpios are toxic. Every sign is
Exactly.
toxic.
So
Every sign can be toxic in their own way.
yeah.
Aquarius have huge egos, though.
What about Aquarius? Is it like
It's the ego.
the ego?
Hmm.
I feel like I'm pretty humble.
What month?
January 20th.
Hmm.
January.
Well, I don't know, because usually the ones I meet, it's not so much as like some of them are cocky, very, very cocky, but it's like there's just a sureness about y'all. You know what I mean?
What the hell? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.